Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Hold on to your hats because what's swirling around the NFL and especially in the NFC North right now is nothing short of a seismic shift. Rumors are flying that the Denver Broncos, currently sitting at 4-8 and struggling, especially on offense where they're averaging just 27 points per game, are eyeing a major move. And the target: Patrick Surtain, one of the league's most elite cornerbacks. According to Adam Schefter, the Broncos are contemplating trading Surtain to the Chicago Bears in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. And they're also looking to save around $20 million in cap space to help rebuild their quarterback situation. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds huge, and it is. This kind of move could be a game-changer for the Bears, not just in terms of talent, but in shaping the future of this division. Surtain, a 2021 NFL draft pick, has quickly established himself as one of the league's premier coverage maestros. With over 210 tackles and 16 interceptions in his career so far, he's proven to be a true shutdown corner. His PFF grade, which sits at an impressive 91.2 for his career, speaks volumes about his consistency and elite ball skills. He's a three-time Pro Bowler and was named All-Pro in 2024. In 2025, through 13 games, he's continued to impress, with 46 solo tackles, 21 assists, and 4 interceptions for 85 yards and a touchdown. His coverage grade of 91.5 and EPA per target of -0.27 show how much of a difference maker he is on the field, limiting opponents' big plays and providing the kind of lockdown coverage that can elevate an entire secondary. Now let's break down what makes Surtain such a hot commodity. His ability to read routes, break on the ball, and shut down top receivers is second to none. Just look at his Week 7 performance: 2 interceptions, 8 tackles, and minimal injury concerns of a calf strain in Week 3. His ball skills are elite, with a hawk rate of 22%, and he's a player that can be trusted in high-stakes situations. The Broncos have seen how much he boosts their defense, adding plus 145 stops in 2024, which is massive. His trade value really skyrockets when you compare him to other recent big moves, like the Diggs trade that helped the Cowboys reduce explosive plays by 25%, or the Stephon Diggs trade from the Bills that turned their offense into a juggernaut. Surtain's ability to make plays on the ball, combined with his coverage consistency, makes him a true difference maker on defense. So why would Denver consider trading him now? Well, after a disappointing 4-8 start, the Broncos are clearly looking to rebuild their roster. They're prioritizing shoring up their offensive line and adding edge rushers, much like the Jets did by trading veteran players for cap relief and youth. Denver's cap situation is tight, with a $25 million hit on Surtain's contract, and they're intentionally freeing up cap space to focus on their rebuild. It's a strategic move, selling high on a superstar cornerback to gather draft picks and younger talent, especially in a highly competitive AFC West where teams like the Chiefs and Chargers are always in the playoff hunt. The Broncos are playing the long game, and this trade could set them up for future success, even if it stings a little to see Surtain go. Now, let's talk about what this means for the Bears. First and foremost, acquiring Surtain would be a huge step forward in strengthening their secondary. Chicago's defense has been solid but inconsistent, especially in coverage. With Surtain, the Bears would see a boost of around 21% in coverage efficiency, according to recent metrics, and the number of interceptions could easily jump by 4 or more. Opponents' points per game would likely drop by around 11%, going from 22.3 to under 20, which is huge in close games. When you compare Surtain to Johnson, who's already playing well with a PFF grade of 88.1, Surtain's grade of plus 16 points and his PD plus 9 would turn that duo into one of the league's most formidable shutdown corners. And don't forget, this isn't about just individual talent. It's about the collective impact on the team. With Surtain locking down one side of the field, the Bears, safeties, and linebackers can play more aggressively, knowing they have a reliable cover man. This would lead to more turnovers, an estimated 8% increase, giving Chicago more opportunities to score and ultimately more wins. The defensive stats would improve across the board, fewer yards allowed, more turnovers created, and a significant boost in win probability in close games, by as much as 14%. That's the kind of impact that could push Chicago from a decent team to a legitimate contender, especially as they look to make a push for the playoffs. Speaking of playoff ambitions, the odds of the Bears winning the Super Bowl could see a notable jump, moving from around plus 3,000 to plus 1,800 if they land certain. That's a huge boost in the betting world, but more importantly, it signals how much the addition of a player like him could transform this team. When you look at the league's top CBs, Surtain's ability to reduce explosive plays by 25% and his overall impact on victory margins makes him an X-factor for any defense aiming for a deep playoff run. His presence alone could be the catalyst for a defense that's already on the rise, giving the Bears a real shot at competing with the best of the best. Now, it's important to remember that this kind of move isn't just about the now, it's about the future. The Bears are building a roster that can sustain success, and adding a player like Surtain fits perfectly into that vision. It's a move that signals they're serious about contending not just this year, but for years to come. The secondary would become a fortress, making it incredibly tough for opposing quarterbacks to pick them apart, especially in critical moments late in games. Plus, with a cap space adjustment of around $35 million, Chicago could also shore up other areas of the roster, making this a strategic move to set up a sustainable winning culture. In the grand scheme of things, this potential trade marks a shift in the NFL landscape. The Broncos, seemingly in rebuild mode, are focused on acquiring draft capital and younger talent to compete in an increasingly tough AFC West. The Bears, meanwhile, have a real shot at elevating their defense into one of the league's top units, especially if they land certain. It's a classic example of a team betting on future success by making bold, strategic moves now. And for the Bears fans, it's a thrilling time, seeing their team make a move that could tip the scales in their favor and bring them closer to that elusive Super Bowl. Looking ahead, this move could also influence other teams' strategies around the league. If the Bears do acquire Surtain, it signals that they're not messing around. They're serious about competing at the highest level. And with the secondary getting a major upgrade, the entire team can breathe a little easier, knowing they have a lockdown corner to rely on. That kind of confidence is contagious and can elevate the entire roster's performance. Plus, it sends a message to the rest of the NFC that the Bears are not just building for the future. They're ready to contend now, and they're willing to make bold moves to do so. This potential trade is also fascinating because it highlights the shifting priorities in the NFL. Teams are no longer just building around their quarterbacks or offensive stars. The importance of a dominant secondary has never been greater. The ability to neutralize top receivers and force turnovers can completely flip the script in a game, and Surtain's skill set makes him one of the few players capable of doing that at an elite level. It's a move that could redefine what the Bears' defense is capable of and set a new standard for what a championship-caliber secondary looks like in today's NFL. So, Bears fans, get ready for what could be one of the most exciting developments of the season. Whether or not this trade happens, the buzz alone is enough to energize the fan base and get everyone talking about the future of Chicago football. If the Bears do pull the trigger on this trade, it could be the start of a new chapter, one where they're not just hoping to make the playoffs, but aiming to dominate the NFC and challenge for that Super Bowl trophy once again. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and TO, the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.